please protect us the way that we try to protect you.
Police are asking for help from the public tonight as they continue to work during this crisis. And primary delayed, Hoosiers will not be voting on May 5th. The new plan announced today by the governor. And something you would normally drink being reformulated and bottled to help keep you safe. Local distilleries changing focus in the age of coronavirus.
It's cloudy now, but at least we're dry. How long that will last and what happens after our cold start tomorrow morning.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Breaking news tonight at 5, we have just learned of the third death from coronavirus in the state of Indiana. The state health department says the person is a Marion County resident over the age of 60 who had been in the hospital. We also learned today there are 23 new positive cases for a total of 79. 25 of the total positives are in Marion County, and the number of Hoosiers who are getting tested continues to grow. We are up to 554. Globally and nationally, here are the numbers. More than 258,000 positive cases and more than 11,000 deaths. Of those, 627 occurred in the past 24 hours in Italy, the biggest day-to-day increase in the country's 4-week epidemic. The U.S. has recorded a total of 216 deaths. Worldwide, more than 87,000 people have recovered. And one of the Indiana cases is impacting workers at an air traffic control center at Indianapolis International Airport. Today, the FAA reported an air traffic control supervisor tested positive for COVID-19. The FAA says an industrial cleaning company is sanitizing 3 work areas in the Indianapolis Air Route Traffic Control Center. The work areas were vacated last night, but the center remains open and operational. The FAA says it's working to determine how many people might have interacted with the supervisor in recent days. And much like healthcare workers, police and first responders are on the front line of the virus, still out there working to keep you safe. RTV6's Stephanie Wade checks in with the Indianapolis Police Department to see how they are continuing to answer the call for duty.
You can tell by all the police cars here behind me at IMPD's East District, they're still showing up to work every day, despite the rapid spread of the coronavirus. They ask you protect them the way they try to protect you. Sergeant Grace Sibley with IMPD says when the coronavirus began to spread in Indiana, they immediately pushed out the CDC recommendations to all of their officers, trying to keep 6 feet from people as much as possible, frequent hand washing, and using PPE or personal protective equipment out in the field when necessary. They've since closed all of their roll call sites to the public and are working to file police reports over the phone for crimes like theft and harassment. Dispatchers are also now screening people for potential COVID-19 symptoms as they take calls for service.
We're working with IMS and we're attempting to come up with a protocol about how we're going to respond to those runs. And maybe if people could call in, and when they call or when they need our services, let us know if you're having flu symptoms. Let us know if you're having the symptoms. And so that we know preemptively that we can put on our PPE or our gloves or stand outside.
Right now, they're monitoring the officers who are calling in sick but have not had anyone report positive for the coronavirus. If response times are a little slower, police ask you be patient with them.
We're here for you, and we want to stay safe while we do it.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And to report a suspected violation of the COVID-19 restrictions in Indianapolis, they ask you do not call the police station or the Mayor's Action Center, but instead email them and provide as many details as possible. That email is eocmanager@indy.gov. And new tonight, the COVID-19 pandemic means Hoosiers will not be going to the polls in May for this year's primary election. Today, Governor Holcomb and Secretary of State Connie Lawson announced that the primary is now scheduled for June 2nd. Indiana is now the 6th state to delay its primary because of the coronavirus. Also, Republicans and Democrats in the state are teaming up to ask the State Election Commission to make it easier for you to vote by mail rather than going to a polling place.
To suspend absentee by mail rules to allow all Hoosiers the option to vote by mail in the upcoming primary election. It's not a requirement, nor does it change policy for the future. It applies to the June 2nd primary only.
The State Election Commission will meet Wednesday to consider the changes. And coronavirus has killed 3 Hoosiers this week. One of them, a 91-year-old Johnson County woman who reportedly was driven by family to the hospital. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez takes a closer look at how that county is prepared for coronavirus calls.
In Bargersville, Unit 211 is ready to roll. It is one of 2 ambulances positioned in Johnson County, equipped to respond to any COVID-19 cases. First responders with the Bargersville Fire Department have the N95 masks and gowns to protect themselves and their patients.
If you're staying at home, you don't need a mask at home. And we're not saying you need one in public either, but let's make sure that supply is used properly for the people that truly need that.
Lieutenant Sean Campbell is among those on the front lines, and so is his wife, who works in healthcare.
We take personal protection very serious around here. So it starts from your basic hand washing and trying to keep our distance. But our main focus is number one, not getting infected, but also not taking it home to our families.
The first responders, like those here in Bargersville, are monitoring the situation and also keeping stock of personal protective gear when that call comes in. The state's second death of COVID-19 was a 91-year-old woman from Johnson County who died at St. Francis Hospital. The Johnson County Health Department is keeping a close eye on other reported cases.
The capacity to how much it's going to grow depends on how seriously we take doing the best we can do to keep it under control.
At the Bargersville Fire Department, sunrise or sunset, they're ready for their call to duty. Working for you in Bargersville, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And Johnson County's other ambulance, known as Medic 54, is positioned in Greenwood and White River Township. We'll add Indiana University to the growing list of colleges and universities that are altering spring commencement plans due to the coronavirus. The university announced today that it is postponing graduation ceremonies on all campuses that were scheduled for May. IU graduates will be able to participate in a future commencement ceremony when the public health situation allows. Degrees will still be awarded on time. And Hoosiers are finding all kinds of ways to pull together and work together to get through this crisis. Our focus at RTV6 is to bring you those stories. Some local distilleries are adding a new product to their line, hand sanitizer. It's an effort to help increase supply and keep some of the most vulnerable populations protected. Megan Sanctorum shows us how.
Hotel Tango Distillery is donating 2,000 bottles of hand sanitizer to local organizations in need. And all of that hand sanitizer is being made right here in their Indianapolis warehouse. It's a product most distilleries have never made before, but one that's in high demand right now. Leaders at Hotel Tango say last week they realized there was a growing need for hand sanitizer. So they jumped into action. In just days, they created the high-proof ethyl alcohol product. Once they had approval from the federal government, they started bottling it up.
Realized that there was a real need for it, and we could do it. Travis and I are both veterans, and when times get hard, we've known to answer the call, and this feels like one more time of feeling compelled to answer the call.
She says this first batch of 2,000 will go to shelters and other nonprofit organizations in the Indianapolis and Fort Wayne areas. They're also sending a shipment to troops overseas, helping not only those who receive the bottles, but their own staff members as well.
We haven't had to lay anyone off. We're in the restaurant industry and we have closed our tasting rooms, but because of this, we've been able to keep people working, which feels really important and something we're really proud of right now.
She says right now they're working to find a supplier so they can purchase additional bottles for the sanitizer. They hope to eventually start selling the product. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And several other distilleries like Cedar Creek in Martinsville and Cardinal Spirits in Bloomington are also working to create a similar product to keep up with the growing demand. And the need for meals is only going to get bigger over the coming weeks and months. Now a food bank is teaming up with a restaurant owner to make sure more food is available to those who need it. Second Helping says it will be working with the owner of Sam's Cafeteria on a new project. The kitchen space of Sam's Cafeteria at One America Tower will be expanded and become a satellite kitchen for the food bank. Second Helping says Sam's started today to help give out additional meals to those in need.
They'll be at Barton Towers, Barton Annex, Luger Tower to serve low-income seniors. They'll be providing grab-and-go meals that families can take home from Indy Park sites where children and their families will be getting meals today.
We have a great crew of people that are ready to step in and help make food, wholesome food, and deliver it around under Second Helping's guidance.
Second Helping says the partnership will create an additional 1,100 meals this week. They expect to make and package thousands more meals in the coming weeks. Businesses close, new mandatory restrictions in another Indiana county to help stop the spread of coronavirus. And RTV6 is helping Hoosiers looking for work find jobs in this difficult time. Just in the past 24 hours, the story that sparked a ton of interest, and it's not too late for you.
I think I know the answer to this question. Can you feel the difference? Temperatures are falling quickly. We're headed eventually into the 20s tonight, but as you can see, as we get to late evening, down to around the freezing mark. We'll talk about our cool weekend coming up.
The Dow fell back into negative territory today after slight gains yesterday. Stocks closed out their worst week since 2008 as economic woes from coronavirus are deepening. The Dow was off more than 900 points. And President Trump saying he's using every available tool to combat COVID-19. This as the Senate is working with the White House to hammer out $1 trillion-plus plan to help those hit hardest by the novel coronavirus. ABC's Megan Terizian is in New York with the latest.
Today, a major development for individual taxpayers and employers. President Trump announcing his administration is moving tax day from April 15th to July 15th, allowing additional time for businesses and individuals to file their taxes and make payments without interest or penalties.
Hopefully, by that time, we'll have people getting back to their lives.
The administration also announcing that student loan payments will be suspended for at least the next 2 months. And with most schools in the country closed, the Education Department will also not enforce standardized test requirements. The president insisting the United States will use whatever tools are at its disposal to mobilize against the virus.
I invoked the Defense Production Act, and last night we put it into gear.
The State Department also warning all Americans not to travel overseas.
This means that all international travel from U.S. citizens should be avoided.
This as the number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits is spiking. Pennsylvania receiving approximately 121,000 claims for unemployment compensation benefits since March 16th. Michigan seeing an average 550% increase in claims compared to what it would normally see this time of year. Senate Republicans and Democrats are still working with the White House to hammer out a more than $1 trillion stimulus plan to put money in people's pockets, rescue hard-hit industries, and boost the economy.
We're not talking about a $1,000 check. We're talking about much more than that.
The Senate expecting to work through the weekend to have a stimulus bill up for a final vote by Monday. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer today saying he's spoken with the president about the bill and he's open to the Democrats' key component.
The president explicitly told me he would oppose companies using bailout money on buybacks, even though such a prohibition is not in McConnell's bill. I told the president we need to come together and cooperate in this time of national crisis. He agreed.
Megan Terizian, ABC News, New York.
And another major store is closing to customers due to the spread of coronavirus. Goodwill of Central and Southern Indiana closed all of its retail stores effective today. The stores will be closed until further notice. Goodwill says the stores will continue to take donations, but with limited hours. As in many communities, the city of Anderson is looking like a ghost town. An order by the Madison County Health Officer closed many businesses effective at 8 this morning. The order includes department stores, hair and nail salons, liquor stores, auto dealerships. It covers any retail stores that do not sell food or home supplies. The order is in effect until the 6th. And barbershops are on the list of Madison County's mandatory business closures. Define Salon in downtown Anderson has been Andre Jones' place of business for the last 5 years. He thanked his customers and will do the best he can to maintain his lifestyle until this passes.
I would say just be patient and just continue with the process. There's nothing you can do.
Like so many others, Jones is losing out on quite a bit of income. He normally does 15 cuts a day at $20 or so a pop, 6 days a week. And for more than a year now, RTV6 has made it our mission to help you find jobs through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. The need for that assistance could not be more critical right now, with so many businesses having to close and lay off workers due to the coronavirus. We want to make sure you know who is hiring. Just yesterday, our Nicole Griffin told you about Senior One Care in Carmel. They're in need of caregivers for seniors. In just a matter of hours after our stories aired, Senior One Care's director of recruitment said the response was overwhelming. She texted Nicole saying, "Nicole, your work has already made a huge impact. My phone and laptop may very well ignite with all the traffic. You have made a difference in the lives of so many unemployed Hoosiers and seniors who need us. You did that. I cannot thank you enough." And as of this afternoon, Senior One Care has received inquiries from 38 people and counting. They normally get 3 to 5 on an average day. Caregivers help in a variety of ways, from grocery shopping to cleaning. Pay starts at $13 an hour. And the need is very great. To see these Senior One Care jobs and all our Hoosier career profiles, just head to the RTV6 app and hiringhoosiers.com. Well, now to your Storm Team 6 forecasting, Kevin. The very, very warm start to our day is definitely gone now. What are we looking at?
I'm trying to hide the big number from you, Amanda. I'm not quite wide enough, though. 67. How about that? That was this morning at 4:06 a.m. So that goes in the books as our warmest temperature. Whatever the temperature is at midnight tonight will go in as the low. We're continuing to fall. There's your noticeable change. 44 degrees. This is what it feels like now. And that transition over the last 24 hours from very mild to much colder, with showers and thunderstorms. Morgantown, almost 3.5 inches of rain down in Brown County. Bloomfield, 2.8. Spencer, over 2 3/4 inches. Ellettsville, 2.5. plus a little more, and that widespread rain in the southern half of the state was heavier. You had rain north of Indy, but not as much, generally under an inch. Cloudy, but dry. Man, we need some dry weather. We'll get that tonight, tomorrow, first half of Sunday, but I think Sunday afternoon into Sunday night, rain showers return. Won't be as heavy as what we just went through. Kind of an every other day pattern as far as our rainfall. We're dry tomorrow and Monday, but then the rain chances are there Sunday, and they're likely on Tuesday. It's all about the north wind now, replacing that south wind that brought in the mild temperatures. We're reversing course, drawing the colder air into central Indiana. Temperature in Indy, 44. Look at you, Peru, 39 degrees, showing us the way to the colder temperatures into the upper 30s. Rocky and Zara, say hello. They're ready to roll. They're ready to go for a walk. Last night at this time wasn't prime time, was it, for walking, but it is this evening, thanks to Tina Whitney for sending in the picture. Temperatures will be in the 30s through the evening hours, but they'll be in the 20s when you wake up tomorrow morning. Lafayette and Peru, 25 degrees, coldest temperatures in the 7-day planner. Temperatures over the weekend only modestly increase on Sunday, but also increasing Sunday will be our chance for showers in the afternoon. Highs tomorrow from nearly 40 to the north, solidly lower 40s central Indiana and the southern portion of the state, maybe about 44, 45. That rain chance increases in the afternoon into the evening Sunday. Monday, mostly cloudy, 52. Rain is likely Tuesday. Temperatures really warm up toward the end of next week, but as the temperature comes back up, our rain chances will also increase Thursday and Friday of next week. As you know, this is Severe Weather Preparedness Week, and our Kyle Mounts has more.
When it comes to preparing for storms, having as much notice as possible is important. That's why we work with the Storm Prediction Center to share outlooks, like this example highlighting the severe weather threat. We often are able to indicate the broader potential for severe weather 2 to 3 days in advance. And when we show these maps on television, it's time to review your severe weather safety plan. That outlook is divided up on a 5-point scale ranging from marginal to high risk. As the risk level increases, so does the intensity and coverage of the storms. Most of our severe weather days fall in the marginal to enhanced risk categories. Moderate and high risks are pretty rare in central Indiana.
Thank you, Kyle. So many places are closed right now, but you can still visit the zoo, sort of. How the Indianapolis Zoo is bringing the zoo to you in the safety of your own home.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. The Indianapolis Zoo may be closed due to the coronavirus, but you can still visit virtually. The staff is bringing the zoo to you with daily videos posted on Facebook that you can watch with your kids. Today, they introduced us to the first zoo babies of the year. Meet these male Audra gazelle calves born on February 25th and March 8th. They are the largest and most endangered of all gazelle species. Look for more videos in the coming days on the zoo's Facebook page. And all new at 6 p.m., the state's most vulnerable children, they need our help and protection now more than ever. How you can help make sure no child is forgotten when it comes to keeping them safe. But first, next at 5:30, a special half hour devoted just to the coronavirus pandemic. Information you need to maneuver financially, emotionally, and professionally in this new reality. You're watching RTV6.